Hi everyone, this is Hiba from My Little Journal, and I'm really excited to be sharing a flip through of my finished 2021 Project Life albums. I had so much fun working in my Project Life this year. There was a lot of ups and downs, and I'm excited to have them all in my album and finished. I do want to mention before I start the walkthrough, I use Studio Calico's 6x12 albums and page protectors. Sometimes I use Becky Higgins page protectors. I actually buy the 12x12s. They're always linked in my Amazon shop, and trim them down to 6x12. Anyways, I also wanted to mention that the second half of my album, you haven't seen a lot of those spreads because I was creating them without doing process videos. I think the last few months of 2021, I got really and extremely busy and I wasn't able to share all my process videos or my layouts with you. So you might notice that you haven't seen a lot of those on my channel. But if you're new here, I have loads of process videos for these spreads. So I'm not going to talk in depth about these spreads. I'm just going to go through them and share with you my finished albums. So let's get to it. So for my title page, every year I add a family photo. So I will choose a photo from the year, the previous year, and add that as my title page. But this year I decided I want to use a 2022 photo. It just makes more sense. So I waited on that and I ordered them from Persnickety Prints. I just ordered a 6x12 family photo. I will trim them down and add them in the pockets. They are coming very soon, so hopefully I get them soon and I can add them into the pockets. But I didn't mind waiting for it, honestly. I don't feel like I had to have a title page before calling this done. And I always do the same for my last spread as well. I either choose a special moment that I want to remember throughout the year, or again, a family photo. So let's get to it. This is week 1. I just kind of documented voting in Georgia, what happened in the Capitol. Sometimes I add in moments from the news that I want to remember. My son had a little accident there. I also use these dividers that no longer exist, and I was using those puffy stickers from Studio Calico to add to the dividers. This year for 2022, I'm going to be using some dividers from Colorcast Design, and they're so beautiful, and I can't wait to get those. Week 2 is basically regular, normal life. I think here my son went back to college, so we had to drop him off and things like that. I love using Studio Calico's documenter kits for my spreads. I also use the Paper Person shop, which is another favorite. For this week, we have the inauguration, so I documented that. Did a little flip up. I do that a lot. These are from the Paper Person shop, and I had a lot of fun with that. My parents got vaccinated. Everybody's getting vaccinated at this point, so I wanted to document that. I turned 44 that week. This was also still week 3, and I do that sometimes. Sometimes some weeks have multiple spreads, but basically every week has like 2 spreads. But for this week, there was a lot to document, so I documented myself. I did a 6x8 size here. I have tutorial videos on my channel where I share how to create a 6x8 using your Selfie Canon printer. Moving on to week 4, again, just kind of documenting daily life, FaceTiming with my son. We FaceTime basically almost every day. And then I wanted to also mention, I do throw in like things that I'm watching, gifts that I got, orders that I made. I think this is really important, like simple things that are happening throughout the week. Those are important to document as well. It doesn't have to be special occasions. So for this week, we lost a family member, multiple family members to COVID, and I didn't have photos. I wasn't feeling like documenting the week and all that good stuff. This was hard on the family, so I wanted to kind of focus on that. And I basically did a 12x12, but I removed 2 of the parts of that photo and added cards instead, and kept it pretty simple, did it in black and white, and I think it really represents the mood for that week. We are still, kind of in mourning at this point. So there's lots to kind of talk about in this spread. I added some journaling. My son came home to visit, so I wanted to document that. Went on a lot of walks, just trying to breathe in some fresh air and get my mind off of these hard days. Week 7, I added some news articles here. It was really, really cold, so I documented that. Love documenting my walks with my son, especially when he's home. My son having friends over and hanging out before he goes back to school. Just documenting myself here at the book club. I added some washi tape on some of my book club members just in case they didn't want to be on camera or on YouTube. We're into March at this point, doing a lot of shopping. We're not on lockdown, but we are still keeping ourselves safe. And so we don't really go out as much. So when we do, I always try to capture that moment. So when we go Target shopping, I'm going to capture that. I got vaccinated this week and my son as well. My daughter at this point was under 16, so that wasn't open for 16 and under. So it was just us two and my husband. Documenting daily life, doing the dishes, grocery shopping. I hit 10K on Instagram. I love the spread just because I was able to use this Feed Your Craft kit where it had the time, and I just used those time stickers to kind of document. I think this was a one day. Yeah, it was a whole day on one spread, which is so fun. Week 11, we're going into springtime. We have flowers blooming. I love this time of the year. And then my favorite drink, just documenting that. Week 12 was another difficult week. We lost my uncle to COVID as well. So I had documented that a little bit and talked about that. This week, my daughter was able to get her first shot, which was so exciting. So I also wanted to add that into my album. And now that we can sit outside and enjoy the weather, I love it when the grass turns green and the trees go green and the flowers are blooming. I just love that time. So for week 14, I got my second shot and I got really sick. So I had really bad symptoms. So I kind of documented that. Doctor appointments, hair appointments, love that. I have a little flip up because I wanted to kind of talk more about getting vaccinated and how life is right now at the moment. Week 15, just regular normal life. Ramadan started. So we started decorating for Ramadan and also kind of journaling about that and what everybody's doing throughout the week of Ramadan. Again, when Ramadan hits, there's family gatherings, food to be eaten, all that good stuff. That week also, we found a bird in our dryer. So it flew in through the, what is it called? The piping of the dryer. It was crazy because the whole time I thought it was a rat and I was freaking out. But it turned out to be a bird, so I documented that. Week 17, not much going on. I had some FaceTime chatting with my crafty friend here. My car's light came on. I was starting to have problems with my car, and we will get to the point where I buy a new one. But anyways, I wanted to document that. And this is what I mean when I say, you just document your daily life and what's going on throughout your week. It doesn't have to be extremely lavish. I don't think any of us live that lavish life. So it's definitely okay to just document your normal, regular, boring life. And I really don't think our lives are boring. I just think, there's not much sometimes to talk about, especially if you have a day job. So it's okay to document the little things and what you think is important to you. So this week I moved my son back home. So I picked him up from UGA and brought him back home. Really, really happy to have him home and just kind of documented that day where I spent with him and helped him move back. Our daily walks, sometimes it will take a whole spread to document my daily walks with Stitch and Lathe. I really enjoy them and I'm okay to kind of focus a whole week on that. This, I believe, was Mother's Day weekend. And I had a blast, spent it with my sisters and my mom and my kids. It was amazing. It was so much fun. And I wanted to focus on that. So I did a whole spread for Mother's Day. Week 19, celebrating Eid. So Ramadan is over and we're celebrating Eid with family. So kind of documented that. I love this photo of my parents with my niece and my kids. Week 20, we're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable going out. So this was actually my first outing to a restaurant in over a year, basically. So I really enjoyed going out with my sister and having ice cream and just going on a walk. It was so much fun. Oh, and Stitch turned 1 here. I was so excited. He's so adorable. Week 21, just kind of celebrating little things. My daughter finishing high school, my son going out on his friend's prom. So they were seniors this year, so he missed his own prom for 2020. So it was fun to see him go and have a little bit of fun there. These are just moments from the week where I'm just kind of talking about routine here. Stitch finding a little turtle and losing his mind. It's hilarious. Renewing my daughter's passport, which took forever. Just little things like that. Going to the lake with my sister and niece. This was a lovely day and really, really enjoyed it. So I used, I think, the Paper Person shop for this. It was a kind of summery vibes kit and I loved it. My son went to, I think he went to, I forgot where he went. Carolina, right, North Carolina. And he was sending me photos all the time. So I documented his little trip here with the photos he sent me. Week 25, documenting Father's Day. And I love these photos of my dad. He's so amazing. I also did a home project where I changed up our little playroom for the kids when they were younger. And obviously now they're older and I've always wanted to change that room up. So I made my own library room and I love it. And that is the end of the first half of my project life. And like I said, I will fill this out with one of those photos that I ordered from Persnickety Prints and call it done. Let's move on to volume 2, which is the second half of 2021. Okay, so let's start with the second half or volume 2. Again, I'm going to be adding a large photo there. And we start off with 4th of July. So we got to spend 4th of July with family. But in the evening, we went home because Stitch was, he gets really scared of the fireworks. So we gave him all the cuddles and love that he needed. Our neighbors had fireworks, so I captured a few of those. Week 27, I was so excited to be in an article on the New York Times. So I documented that. I was really proud of myself. And obviously documenting my amazing peaches. If you're not familiar, I do have a YouTube membership. And the peaches and I get to craft together twice a month. And it's so much fun. And I love documenting those moments. So Sabine this week, I believe, decided to start wearing contacts. So I took her into the eye doctor. I hurt my wrist that week as well. And I kind of documented about that. My son went to Florida with friends. So I just added a few photos of him. Week 29 is all about Eid and family. I got to celebrate Eid with family members, ate some really good food, went to the park with my family, just little things like that. Week 30, eating some ice cream, documenting how I make my kids stand in line at the deli because I hate doing it myself. And my daughter, I took her to the hair salon and she wanted to dye her hair pink. So now she has pink hair. So she went with blonde, then pink, and at this moment it's red. So we're going through that phase. And this week I'm documenting going back to school, just what backpack my daughter chose for the year, walks, hangouts with friends. We had a water pipe break, so I documented that. And then taking my son back to UGA, dropping him off, helping him pack and get his room ready. I think I have a flip up here. Just added a little bit more journaling there. I love this spread. So week 33, we had cousins fly in and come and see us. I haven't seen them in forever, so it was so much fun to spend time with them, helping Sabine drive or teaching Sabine how to drive. So stressful. Documenting again daily life. So my son hurt his shoulder the first week back to school. I can't even tell you. And the first thing he tells me when he calls me is, Mom, don't freak out. But obviously I was freaking out. I had to document this photo where basically I thought I made myself a cup of coffee when literally I just threw in the pod in my coffee cup and didn't notice until I grabbed my coffee cup to drink. So that's how tired I was. And I think that was a Monday. Anyways, we have some ice cream moments here, the ice cream truck. Lath doing his red coat thing. I love that photo of him. And I love that they have a photographer taking pictures of the kids because they always turn out so, so good. Again, some red coats moments there. Teaching Sabine how to drive. Some little mask moments as well. Lath sent me this photo of himself doing the laundry, so I had to document that. My mom was not feeling well. She gave us a big scare that week, so I kind of talked about that and some red coats moments. Like I said, like the photographer does such a great job. I love those photos. Got to see Sabine in concert that week, just playing ball with Stitch. I always like to add these photos of Stitch throughout my album because it's a really big part of my day because I play with him a lot and I take him on walks. So I like to add those in, going out for breakfast with Sabine, and just little moments throughout our day. So this week, my daughter is off of school. So we went to the fair. We do this every year. We go to the fair with the kids. And it's so funny how this year has changed because Lath is not with us. And, Sabine goes off with her friends. So I basically was with my sister and her daughter, which is A-okay. And I just documented the fair and I did a little flip up as well. I had like a lot of photos, but I brought it down to these because I don't have the space and I'm okay with that. Now we're in October and just documenting purchasing an amplifier for Sabine for her birthday. That was what she wanted for her birthday. And going out shopping. Getting this amazing box of ice cream from Kelly Perky. She's so sweet. And I really enjoyed that ice cream. Thank you. We also got to see Lath play live because they were playing in our area, the UGA Redcoats. So it was so much fun to see him. Was so proud of him. My car broke down again. So at this point, I'm like, I'm done. Need a new car. And basically, that's what I did. I bought a new car. So I was really excited to get a new car. We fixed up the Jeep for Lath, and now everybody's happy. And in this week, I documented having like a little Halloween get-together with my peaches. Stitch had to go to the vet. He wasn't feeling well. Sabine pressure washing. She's my pressure washer kind of gal. She pressure washes everything for me. This is the week of Sabine's birthday, and her friends had a surprise birthday party for her at our house. That was so, so sweet. I think that was the sweetest thing ever. So I documented that, and in the middle, I documented Halloween. So my kids, one of them was in Florida for one of the UGA games, and the other spent it with friends. So they're not small anymore. I don't take them trick-or-treating anymore. So I wanted to showcase that in my album, how life has changed. So if you look at my albums from 6-7 years ago, definitely Halloween looked totally different than the spread right here. We're almost done with my album. I'm, again, just documenting daily life and going out for pizza and things like that with my kids. What I'm reading at the moment, daily walks. Actually, this daily walk, my son and I found an iPhone on the floor, and we tried to search for the owner, couldn't find anybody that lost an iPhone. So we basically took it home and thought they would call it, and they did. So we met up with the people that lost their iPhone to give it back. And they were so kind and wanted to give us this gift card. And I'd kind of talked about kindness and, just going out of your way to help out another person, basically. Because I don't know what I would do if I lost my iPhone with all those photos and moments and special memories, basically. So, week 46, just again, Laith is home. I went and picked him up. Laith is home for the holidays. And the first thing he brings me is a basket full of laundry. So that had to go in the album. Book shopping, love my book shopping. Stitch grooming, so dropping him off to get groomed. I totally forgot to add my journaling to this photo, which kind of ticks me off because, I mean, you can tell what it is, but I wish I added my journaling. And I noticed that later, so I might end up doing a flip up and adding extra journaling to the spread. This is the week of Thanksgiving, so I kind of focused on Thanksgiving. I had it at my house, the whole family. It was so much fun. I did a flip up here because I tend to, have extra cards, let's say for Thanksgiving, or if it's Halloween or whatever the case is. So I like to use these flip ups to use those cards. It's a great way to use them because how many cards do you need to document a day, basically, in your album? So that's what I did. I love those numbers from Studio Calico. I believe they're going to bring those back very soon. And I used a lot of Kelly Perky stuff, older kits, newer stuff, like from the Paper Person. I think that's the Paper Person as well. And that might have been Feature Craft. So by the end of the year, I wasn't taking a lot of photos. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. The end of the year was just really busy for me. So I was just kind of documenting whatever's happening. Sabine's concert, love the spread, by the way. I thought this was the perfect spot for me to use this card because I don't celebrate Christmas. So I knew I wouldn't be able to add that card, but it's so, so beautiful. Look at that foiling. That's a Studio Calico card. So I was able to use it to document the Christmas concert. So week 50, I got my booster and my son got his booster. So I wasn't feeling well. He wasn't feeling that great either. So I kind of documented about that. Doctor appointments for Sabine. Going back to doing more puzzles and things like that just because the cases have risen. So we're trying to be safe again and not go out as much. And I also got a box of cookies, crumble cookies from my amazing friend Beth. Oh my gosh, that made my day, especially that I wasn't feeling that great that week. But anyways, this is week 51. Yeah, so this is week 51. And this is our celebrating Laith Day or week because I usually just focus on his birthday throughout the week and Sabine as well. The only thing with Sabine, it falls on Halloween, so I do add Halloween photos in there, but I try to kind of focus on my kids when it's their birthday week. And I did a little flip up. He wanted to eat Japanese food, so that's what we did. And he wanted to sing happy birthday with his grandparents, so we also did that. Again, we're trying to stay safe, so we weren't able to do much, but still enjoy it. And we went on a hike and all that good stuff. And then week 52, the last week in my album, is New Year's. We did not do anything for New Year's, so we stayed home. I actually journaled while we were watching a movie. So it was my son, my husband, and I, and my daughter. And then this is me just talking about going to the doctor because, like I said, I wasn't 100%. Like in week 51, I wasn't 100% myself. So I had to go see a doctor, but everything turned out to be a-okay. And then kind of documenting little moments throughout the week. And because I was sick, I didn't take loads of photos and I didn't do much. So I'm okay with my week looking pretty bland. But I love that photo or that collage of Sabine. It's so hilarious. But anyways, last page here, I'm going to do the same thing and add a large photo. And then I call everything done. And I love how my 2021 album turned out. It was so much fun putting these spreads together. And looking through it, I can't believe all the things that we've done. And I was able to document these special moments. It means so much to me. And this is why I love, love, love this project. It is one of my favorite projects ever. I don't think I will ever stop doing Project Life albums. Even when I become an empty nester, I will still do Project Life. I probably will do like one layout per week or something, or even go smaller if I want to. So it really doesn't matter. You don't have to have kids to do Project Life, and you don't have to have this lavish, extreme, amazing life to document your life in a Project Life album, honestly. As you can see, our life is pretty basic, simple, and I still document it. And I find the special moments in my life to add into my album. But that's about it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching my flip through, and hopefully I will be sharing 2022 layouts very, very soon. I'm going to start working on those very soon. I'm excited to start a new album and start a new chapter. But anyways, like I said earlier, I will be adding all the links down in the description box for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.